Even as Han Solo though, here I feel like he looks much more. Ironically, I feel like he looks much more tough and manly in this headshot than he did in the Han Solo movie.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome
Welcome, welcome.
to I don't want to say like a hot and fresh because it's not hot and fresh. It's still about a
No,
half a week.
everybody had their take on this already.
Hey, man, listen, this is a really good movie.
It's an excellent. This might be the recording I'm looking forward to most
I'm
this
so
year.
excited. I had such a time.
Yeah, I was so happy I forgot about this movie until I saw that you had booked my AMC ticket for it, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, that shit looked weird." And then, and then
And then you were like, oh,
when I remembered it was Zach Kreger, I'm like, "Well, I know I'm at least in for an interesting time."
you're in for an interesting time and a good time. Sometimes not both.
Sometimes not both.
Sometimes not both. And I feel like Zach Kreger is one of those new directors that I don't know. I feel like, and we'll discuss this a little bit later because I want to know your take on how long this can go. But like the fact that we are expecting something unconventional every time,
Yeah,
and granted, it's only his second movie, so you know, I don't know that two is necessarily a pattern.
correct. It's the start of a pattern.
But it's the start of a pattern.
2 points do
You
determine a line.
you have a line, but you don't know exactly where it's gonna lie. Especially with his next movie being Resident Evil, so that's very different. So we'll see. But we saw Weapons
We saw Weapons. And can
last
I take
week.
just a few moments to trash Republicans in a
Yes,
totally unrelated way, and then we'll get back to the meat of the show. So,
sure.
Angel Studios, I guess, is coming out with a movie called Zero AD, but like, there is no motherfucking Zero AD. It goes from like BC to
To just like
180
180, yeah.
because Anno Domini means Year of Our Lord. So there is no zero Year of Our Lord. It's just like BC 80.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's either the year of our Lord or it's not.
exactly. Stupid. Stupid.
Stupid.
But you know what's not stupid?
This movie.
This movie.
This movie's fucking dope.
Yeah.
So I've been excited for this movie since we got the very first bit of news. Like it was like not long after Barbarian came out. That was 2022. Another really good year for horror.
Mhm.
I believe that was the same year we also got the first Smile.
That
So like two big original horror movies.
all the 2022 content seems like it's much more closer to now than it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we were doing like our Smile 2 review earlier this year, I was like, "Oh yeah, Smile 1, that came out like last year." And then I was like, "Excuse me?"
No, I'm looking here. That was the year that Talk to Me came out.
Yeah.
Scream.
We were wearing masks in 2022.
Yeah. It was a crazy year.
It was a
A
crazy
Barbarian, Sick, Skinamarink, Fresh. You haven't seen Fresh. The Menu. So
No.
like that was a very stacked year.
I also haven't seen your favorite movie, Skinamarink.
Oh, dude, fuck that movie. I have so many thoughts, but we're not gonna get into that.
Yeah.
But when this movie was announced, I think it was announced immediately with the attachment of Pedro Pascal.
Right.
And then we had the strikes that really put a big damper on everything, and we moved on to well, we got to start recasting people. We ended up with I think, a really, really good cast. I don't think there's anyone on the cast list originally that I was like, man, we missed out. And that's not a knock on Pedro.
Right. But he had a busy year.
He had a very busy year. I don't think
Yeah.
he needed this movie.
Yes. It was Hot Pedro
And
2025.
it's one of those things where like he didn't need this movie and this movie didn't need him. And that's
Correct.
fine.
Correct.
This movie is also very weird and unconventional in the way that the story is told. We're gonna jump in straight into the movie. I think if you are at all interested, this movie is one that you don't want to know anything aside from like the premise,
Yeah, which the
right?
trailers do an excellent job of laying out for you.
I think the first trailer for this movie, when I watched the first trailer, I was like, this is genuinely terrifying and I don't want to know anything else.
It was knowing so little going into this movie, I feel like is so imperative for enjoying it. It was to the point where after we had seen it, I had shown I had shown her the trailer to let her know what I watched and she should watch it. And as I'm seeing stills of like other very important characters, even just popping up like for a second,
Yeah.
like in the trailer, I was like, ah, too much, too much,
Too
too much,
much.
it's too
Too
much.
much. Which is what happens in like the second in the second trailer that came out. I think the first trailer it's just, hey, these kids just vanished and the name and that's it. And
Yeah,
it's like the ring footage and that's it, I think.
yeah.
So I think even then, even though we watch the movie, as we are learning what's going on, we're putting together like those little snippets that you mentioned.
Hmm.
But I don't think it fully led me to understand
No,
what the hell was happening
no.
next.
Without the context of the plot, you still are not sure like what's going on.
Yeah.
So it was an excellent job of marketing.
One of the things that I really liked about this movie is, so this movie is told in 6 different chapters. Each chapter is named after your POV character.
Hmm.
And there's not a shortage of movies that are POV movies, right? I think a very popular one is Vantage Point.
Another popular one is called Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, I think Pulp Fiction is a little bit more close to this one in the sense that like the way the stories might feel a little unrelated for a little bit, but then they meet at a point.
What was the ghosty movie that we saw this year?
Presence.
Yeah,
But that's different because that's still one entire story
yeah,
from purely one point of view,
yeah.
where like in Vantage Point you're seeing the events happening. I think it's like a heist or some sort of robbery gone wrong or whatever. And it's like you're seeing from like the teller and then one of the people who were part of it and then like a cop and you're kind of still contained to like the same amount of like small time.
Hmm.
Whereas in this movie, the thing that I really like about it is that every story builds on the previous chapter.
It's
So like,
very seamless,
yeah,
I
so
think.
like we start with Justine. This is after the kids disappear. They don't know where they went. I think the opening narration for this movie is actually like so good.
Yeah.
Like it feels like exposition, and that's fine because all it serves is to get rid of that initial premise and then you jump into like what the movie is actually about. Like the movie is
Correct.
not about the kids disappearing. It's like how how the whole mystery is like hitting this community, and I think that's way more interesting than like, oops, kids go miss, let's find.
I like how each chapter ends at like an apex of action. It's
And
almost
then
like
it's almost like blue balling you.
it is. It's like plot diagrams that all just go to climax and then
And then you
nothing
go,
afterwards, and you just get
mhm.
like a bunch of those up until you get to like the final climax and resolution.
Yeah. So Justine is the first person we follow. She's the teacher in the classroom.
Yeah.
I think Julia Garner does a really good job at playing someone who is I think all the characters here, except for Marcus, who I don't think did anything wrong.
No.
Marcus is the most innocent man.
Marcus, you know what? Here's the only thing that's wrong from him is that he's admin.
Yeah, that's his one tragic flaw.
There is no ethical admin in capitalism.
That's very fair. But like, I mean, she's a very overbearing teacher.
Yeah, I
We learned that early on in the movie, right?
I was surprised how much issue I took with her early on. And I say that not to mean that like she was a badly written character. I was like surprised how she just kind of frustrated me a bit as a person. Even though like of our chapter characters, she's like probably she's one of the two most victimized like
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
here's the thing. She is at the end of the day like an innocent person in this story.
Yes. Who has made some questionable life choices.
And listen, I think it hits a little different for us as teacher because you're like, oh honey, you can't do that.
No,
Multiple times we turned to each other, we were like, oh, you can't do this.
no.
This is not your job.
And we're kind of we're the teachers we're the teachers who refuse to put up the "We miss our students" thing on our profile picture. So not only, like, are we like, "You can't do this," but we're also like, "Why the fuck would I do that?"
I mean,
So,
all right, here's the
like,
thing,
the kid
right?
can't get
So,
home, I'm like, "Sucks."
yeah, it sucks, right? Those are some of those things where, like, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, you can't do that," right?
Yeah,
Like, I think she says she got in trouble for,
hugging a student.
inappropriate, like, touching of a student. She's like, "Well, I hugged a student, like, that's not a problem."
Yes.
Which, again, as a male teacher, if a kid comes to give you a hug, they teach you, like, hands up, that's
Yeah.
it, like, right? Like, you're not
I'd
gonna
say on the problem scale, I think that's like 2 out of 10.
yes.
Yes.
The big one is, like, she gave a student a ride home
Yeah.
because, like, she missed the bus.
That's like
Again,
that's a 6 out of 10.
that's a no-no.
Yeah, that's a 6 out of 10.
But then I do empathize with her on wanting to make sure that Alex is okay after this specific event.
Well, they're the
They're
2
the
that are
2
left.
left over, and,
Yep.
like, when you start to look at this movie as to, like, what the themes are, like, the very obvious one is school shooting, right? You have the title weapons. Later on in the movie, we see a gigantic not AK-47, fucking
Yeah.
AR-15, the assault rifle 15. Um, the other
What it's
14
called.
they're outdated, man.
That's what it's called, yeah.
That's what it's called. That's what it's called. So, like, this could be seen as, like, that survivor's guilt almost, and she does mention because 'cause they're like, "Why do you care? Like, why are you so, like, impacted?" And she's like, "Because we're the only 2 left in this room."
Okay, here's Benedict Wong's. I'm always forgetting his actual name.
In the
To
movie,
me
Marcus,
to me, Wong will just always be like, whatever movie he's in, I feel like he'll just always be
he's
Wong.
always Wong.
Here's his other one flaw. He let her come to that meeting.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
be like, if the parents asked, I'd be like, "Listen, if y'all can't figure out why it's in everybody's best interest that she not be in this meeting, then y'all are dumb."
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, she should not have been at that meeting.
Yeah, and so, like, they have this big ass meeting at the beginning of the movie too, where they're doing,
Yeah.
like, the community outreach, and it's immediately just a powder keg that you can just see, one of the things in this movie that I think is really good is anytime you feel like someone could just walk up and stab this lady.
I was so glad that I did not know Josh Brolin was in this movie
Oh, really?
because you hear, like, in that movie, you hear a father who was like, who is angry and, like, rationally so. Like, this teacher should be, like, a suspect in terms of, like, what's going on if it was just, like, her class that was missing.
Oh,
And
for sure.
you hear him basically say the concerns that any logical person would say. Like, "I wanna know what was going on in that classroom. Like, why her? Like, why only this classroom?" Right?
And that's a very fair I think that is a very fair assessment, and when I saw that in the trailer, one of the things that I was like, "Yeah, no, that's very fair." But in the movie, I think you get a little bit of context, but, like, it's been,
A
like,
month.
over a month,
Yeah,
and I'm like, they've clearly investigated. This lady is not she's not going in she hasn't gone anywhere.
yeah.
So I'm like, clearly, there's gotta be something else, like, I feel like it's almost a little irrational to be like, "She's hiding these children somewhere."
Correct, but this is
But
not irrational.
in a way, like, these people are not rational. Rightfully so, I guess, to a certain degree.
Yeah.
So I get it. I'm not necessarily dinging the movie. I'm not dinging the character, but it is one of those things that I'm like, I don't know how else this would go.
No, but I like the fact that at first what I thought was just like an NPC in the movie who was shouting just to show anger. I like that you don't see who that is at first. You just kinda hear like an angry male voice.
Yeah,
And then later when we switch to the last
that
chapter, the
POV.
next we realize like, "Oh, this is our
This
other
is this is our
main
other
character."
character. We learn a few things about her. She's like a relapsed alcoholic. She is not taking this very well.
Nope.
He's like, "Yeah, you need to go home immediately." And she's like, "First, couple bottles of vodka."
Yeah.
Um, we get a couple of really fun scenes that are like a theme throughout the movie where like
Mhm.
something scary happens and the character's first response is like, "What the fuck?" And they
Yeah.
actually say, "What the fuck?"
What the
And
fuck?
all 3 deliveries that happen
Are perfect.
are
Are
perfect.
perfect. If this was PG-13 and each one of those was like the one F-bomb, I'd be like,
This is perfect.
fantastic.
And luckily it's not PG-13. We get more.
Yeah.
For her is somebody rings the doorbell. There's no one there. As she's walking away, someone like beats the shit out of the door, and we get that reaction.
Yeah.
We get a whole bunch of stuff with her following Alex home.
Mhm.
Um, and she talks to him. She does eventually confront him, and like he goes into his house, and I couldn't see it. I don't know if it was the screen being too dark. People mention and they can see someone opening the door. I couldn't. To me, it just looks like the door very like weirdly robotically opening
That's
and
what it
then
looks like to
closing,
me, and I
right?
think it is supposed to look very dark.
I know in the script, which I haven't finished, I'm going through it. It's like it's not super long. It's 120 pages, and
Yeah.
script writing is very um like it's a weird format for anyone who doesn't know what a script looks like. Um, it's not long. It's just very very drawn out.
Yes.
Um, it does say like you can see the outline of a man opening the door, and I feel like if I had seen that visual, it's almost a little bit creepier with how robotic that opening and closing would feel. But I don't know. I do also like how dark and just like a void the house feels.
I prefer not seeing anybody. I like the void. I like the
Interesting.
void because it lets you know that there's something. I mean, there's
Something
many clues
afoot.
that something's afoot, but, like, I mean, like, the symbolism of the void, like, there's, like, something evil going on here, and, like, really not until, like so, like, spoiler alert, Josh Brolin paints witch
On her door, because
on her
the
car
next
door.
day after she gets spooked, she opens the door and there's written "witch" on her door. She
Yeah,
goes to file a police report, and that's when we see Paul, the cop.
yes, but, like, before
Yes.
we get there, I think, when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, that's a clever attack on her." Like, because, like, what do witches do? Like, they're in fairy tales, like, they're the ones who, like, get the kids. So I'm like, like, whoever was, like, suspecting her, like, witch is a good thing to write on your car if that's what you're suspecting her of.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember when it clicked to me that the villain in this movie could be, like,
Witchy,
an
supernatural.
actual witch. Somewhere along the line, I made the connection between, like, the car and then before I
Mhm.
maybe the first time we see Aunt Gladys, I'm like, "Oh, I think, like,
Something, yeah.
something," and it could be magic. But I will say what I like about the void and not seeing anybody, I feel like until you realize what's actually going on, you don't really appreciate the amount of evil that, like, our antagonist is.
Mhm.
Like, there's a spectrum of evil in movies, and I feel like this is pretty high
Oh, this is
up there.
severely high up there.
Yeah, this
There's
is
like the malice in what she's doing is very, very high.
yes.
But anyway, I do like that very early on through this, we meet most of our core characters. I think the only one that we don't meet in this, or two, sorry, is James.
Yep.
I don't think he
Well,
shows up. Oh wait, no, he does ask her for money.
"Excuse me, sir, I need money for a bus to go see my brother." And
Yeah,
that's
so she does meet him.
this is why this movie is a five-star movie for me, is because and it's not a perfect movie, but the way that it's able to navigate so flawlessly between humor and suspense, just, like, back and forth, I think is
Yeah.
expert class
No,
tone.
it's a masterclass in like writing.
Like, that little thing, like, the whole like, even the line about the money for the bus, I'm like, that's what fucking, like, homeless people say.
Yeah.
He's got the homeless spiel down to, like, a
To the point
science.
where like it's almost robotic the way he says it.
Yes,
The fact
yes.
that he says it to her again when she just walked in and said no thank you.
And I say that not to rag on, like, our homeless brethren, but, like, I mean, I've been on the CTA, like, I remember the guy, like, in the red line who'd be, like, walking around, he'd be, like, wrestling his change in his hand, and there it was a robotic spiel. He'd literally just be walking from car to car, like, you'd think he was in a trance. Like, he'd
Mhm.
be giving his spiel, walking vertically through the car, opening the door, and just, like, without a beat, just, like, keeping going, and then, like, when I saw what's his name? James, right?
James. Yeah.
He acts
Exactly the same.
just
Yeah,
like him, yeah,
it's great.
yeah.
So yeah, I guess the only character that we really do not meet in this introduction is Aunt Gladys. We do get glimpses of her,
But not
but
enough where
we
you can
don't
tell, like, what's going on.
exactly. It's so fast, quick, and you miss it that it
Yeah.
doesn't even register.
You're like, "Maybe a
Um,
clown."
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because after she has her one night stand with Paul, she goes around town. This is when she meets Alex. She goes home. She gets jump scared again at night. We see
In
this
the
like
ceiling.
in the ceiling. It is a very scary scene. I think these scenes, these dream sequences that we have,
Yeah.
are really, really good because a lot of the times when you get a dream sequence and a scare,
Mhm.
it's the fact that the scare wakes you up and that's when you know that something's a dream.
No, you knew
In
right
this
away.
movie, you know immediately that it's a dream,
It's
and it's
not
still
it's not Smile.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
Which it still works. In Smile, it works. It's its own thing, and that's fine for that movie.
It's fine for that movie, but it's also exhausting, especially once you make it, like, into Smile 2, and then you're like, "Okay, everything in here could be
Like, nothing's safe. It's,
nothing is safe."
you feel like a certain level of tension that you're like, "Oh, man."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, this movie, like, it almost acts like a way to diffuse you because you know you're in the dream. You're like, "Okay, I am expecting spooky,"
Right.
but it still gets you when it comes out.
None of the jump scares felt cheap. Like,
No.
they all felt organic and earned.
And I do have a question about this a little bit later. But yeah, she does see what we later realize is Aunt Gladys like in the ceiling. She wakes up. I'm pretty sure she does another what the fuck here.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the next day where she is following Alex home again. And she falls asleep in front of the house. And this is where we get this is one of my first like scenes where it almost made my skin crawl.
This is the most that Ro, like, squeezed my hand like that.
It's so genuinely, it's like
Oh, it's unnerving.
unsettling
Yes, yes.
because so there's she also goes to the house
Yeah,
and like looks through the thing and she sees two people sitting.
yeah.
She talks to Marcus and that's what makes her then go home
You see 2 people
and
sitting, she, like, falls backwards, she makes the biggest ass clatter in the backyard.
but at night she's asleep after she drank her big gulp of vodka
Yeah,
and the door just like swings open again. It's that
the
the fact
void.
that it's a void and it's so precise.
And then you get
The
hold
like
on.
oh no, what is Thana doing? Is it that silly?
It's silly, though, in a good way.
Is it like the arms up?
It's yeah, it's like a maybe one arm is up, but it looks like a fucking baby.
It's so yeah, it's
Yeah,
so unsettling because it's so
and
unnatural.
the hair is frizzy.
The hair's all because yeah, they're
Yeah,
like all she's all disheveled. This woman just walks out of this house. We don't know who this woman is. We
yeah,
just recognize a little bit, like it clicks that this is what she saw when she looked through the window.
yeah,
And this woman walks up to the car, stands at the window, and you're like, what is she going to do? Is she gonna pull her out? She walks to the back of the car and gets in. And
yeah.
it's so fucking scary.
Once I heard the door, like, open and not being locked, I'm like, "Oh, you so dumb." I'm like, "Fuck, fuck, 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 fuck."
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so fucking scary. And then she just cuts some hair,
yep,
and that's it. And then we cut to the next like the next scene,
yes.
which is Archer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the end of
that's
the,
where that ends. So you get to this climax where you're
climax.
expecting something and then
Yeah,
immediately shot back to Archer.
yeah.
And immediately, like, I know we want to say that, like, he's this imposing, big, burly dude, and you might be like, oh man, he's kind of an asshole. I mean, he kind of is. But, like,
Archer
they
is?
do such a good job on scene one, just putting him in this light
Yeah.
of, like, I don't want to say he's, like, pathetic,
He's sleeping
but
in his kid's
he's
bed.
so broken, like, he's
Yeah,
sleeping in his son's bed.
his wife is clearly mad at him.
I don't even know if mad is the right word, but she's like, "I'm going to work."
He says it angrily, and you can tell.
It sounds
I will say, I think that's an there's an untapped reservoir in that character somewhere.
probably.
And I think the film was fine to cut her out, but I feel like there's a whole thing of motivation. that could be in
Mhm.
her character. I read her as, like, resentful because of Archer's distance in, like, the grieving process.
I think it's one of those things where he's so unwilling to, like, grieve with her. He's grieving for sure, but
Yep,
he's doing it by himself. He doesn't seem to really care about her.
and that tracks.
He's
He never
Yeah,
said, "I love you," right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's a whole thing with him.
all in
He's
character.
he's forgetful. He's like, apparently like a contractor.
Yeah,
He forgot to buy the siding, he forgot to paint the door the right color.
yep,
One thing that I really, really like about again, I haven't finished the script, but in the script, this isn't his fault. This is,
yeah,
like, the people that he works with, and he's like, "Come on, guys, like, get your shit together." And I think in the movie, it is a great touch that it's him who's fucking up, and
yeah,
he's not taking he is so ingrained into, like, this mystery that he is not able to keep up and do his job too.
yeah,
I think that's a really good change. We get that scene of him being at the parent teacher meeting for the school. We see that he is the one who is actually following Justine. He follows her to the liquor store, follows her home. He's the one who
mhm,
writes witch on the thing. And then we see what he starts doing, which is his own investigation of where are these kids going.
yes.
He looks at the ring footage for his son Matthew, and this kid just makes like a straight beeline.
Beeline to the tower.
And so then he starts to
Did you ever suspect the tower, by the way? Because the shot, like, lingers up to the tower.
I think the tower is a purposeful misdirect.
Yes.
I think you're expecting the tower to be something of significance, and it's not. I think it's just something that he uses initially as like, oh, this is where the tower is. It's like the highest point.
Yes.
Let's
But I
make a
remember thinking at
line.
that point, I'm like, "Ah, it could be aliens."
Yeah. And it could be so many things, which I think is perfect for this. But when he then goes to ask, this is great. This is another great bit of comedy where he goes and asks some mom, like, "Hey, do you
I
mind
love
if
this
I
scene.
like look at your ring footage?" And she's
She's like,
like,
"Sorry, I'm not comfortable."
"Yeah, no, no, fuck
Yeah,
off."
yeah.
And then he goes
And then he
back to
asks
his
dad.
car. He has Justin Long, the dad, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Okay." And then you see the two of them, and then the camera pans, and the mom is just standing in the back on the stairs, like, "What the
Be like,
fuck?"
"This bitch."
Which is really funny because, like, for a second, you think he's asking someone else, like a different neighbor,
Yeah.
and then when they reveal that she's there, it's just a great beat of comedy.
And let no one say, um, let no one say that Hollywood is all woke because you got you got the dad who helped save the day by, like, circumventing the mom, and
Yeah,
then you've got you've got the evil witch. So this movie is not entirely pro women.
yeah, no, for
Yep,
sure.
yep.
I could see Archer driving around his big gas guzzling truck with a "Let's Go Brandon" sticker in the back.
Yeah, he's got a red hat somewhere. I'm not gonna lie.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I think the big thing about Archer is we do meet the police chief through him. He's angry that the police is not taking it seriously in his eyes, right?
And the police captain also recognizes that, or the chief, excuse me,
Mhm.
also recognizes that Archer is probably completely justified in how he's like, "Look, if I was in your shoes, God forbid, like, I would be."
I would be just as pissed as you would.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And he's like, "But we got nothing."
And so that's how we do meet Paul in this story. Later he has this dream where he's following the kid. Again, very clearly we know this is a dream. He wakes up, he's following the kid as he's leaving the house, and when he gets to this clearing, it's his house, I believe, that he sees in the vision.
Yeah.
And on top of the house is like a giant gun,
It says 217.
the 217, which is the time the kids leave.
Yep.
And there's a lot of things that could be read into this. Again, like the obvious one is, you know, where we live.
I am amazed as to, like, within 24 hours,
Uh-huh.
how much, like, symbolism people picked up of from the 217. I'm like, "This is impressive." Which and all the reads seemed, like, somewhat justifiable. I think this is where, because Zach Kreger has been on the record saying that, like, he's very much intentionally, like,
Vague.
vague and wanted this movie to be ambiguous.
Yeah.
And I think this is where, um, I think the movie does a great job of that, and then I do think this is also, to me, what keeps it from being, like, a perfect movie for me,
Mhm,
and this is a very slight critique, but if I compare this to something like Hereditary, I feel like I can watch Hereditary and I'm like, everything here like has a purpose, and I can tell you exactly like what that purpose is,
mhm,
and it works. I think this movie's not as smooth around the edges. I think it's a bit more rough. Think like the AR-15 scene is like an example of that,
mhm.
where it's like gun violence, and
Yeah,
then back to
and that's I think why
weapons.
I think this movie benefits from, yes, still having that particular potential for commentary, but I think it's also I think for me what works is the fact that it's not 100% that.
Yeah.
'Cause I think
Yes.
if it is 100% that, then it's
And you got
immediately, like, on the nose.
yeah, you've got a less complex movie.
Whereas here, one thing that's also very important to note is when he falls asleep, he is staring at that poster with that gun, and right next to him is the alarm clock.
Yeah.
So, like, that could also just be, like, subconsciously, that's, like, the last thing that he fell asleep seeing.
Yep.
I think there is some more symbolism with, like, the 217, like, 17 kids go missing, 2 people are left in the class, there you go, 217. So, like, you can read that so many different ways.
Yeah.
So,
Trevor Moore's death is
huh?
near Trevor Moore died on, like, 220 or
Yeah.
219.
Right, yeah, so,
Yeah.
like, there's a whole bunch of things, and I
Yeah.
think that's why I do appreciate the fact that it isn't one thing specifically, that it is a little vague, because then people can put kind of, like, their own ideas, and they're not inherently wrong. I think the only
Yes.
people who are wrong in this movie are the people who go, "That movie wasn't about anything."
Yeah.
Those people are fucking stupid.
Correct.
But anyway, the big thing with that leads us to the end of Archer's story is he is going to confront Justine, and when he gets to a gas station, she's there, and as they're talking, you just see someone running behind them, and it's Marcus,
Yeah.
the principal,
In
looking
loungy-ass clothes.
loungy ass clothes, very comfy, but his face is all bulgy. He's covered in blood,
Yeah.
and you're like, what the hell is happening?
You know that he's Naruto running,
You know that he's Naruto
so
running
you know it's a
exactly the same
connection.
way as the kid, so you know this is connected, exactly. We cut to Paul. I think Paul has one of the, I don't wanna say weaker, but, like, feels a little bit more disjointed.
If you have to
If I were to rank all
importance of
of
all the
the
characters,
yes, as far as, like, which one gives you the most context to the story, I feel like Paul's is
Paul
the
is
one
the
that gives
least.
you the least.
More so than James. Even more so
I
than
think
James.
I think James is one of the most important ones.
Yes.
I think Paul's story deals more with, like, making his character feel important at the end of the movie, and then also establishing James, like, the reason why James.
Establishing James, I think it also, to me, the Paul character also just makes this world seem more lived in and populated,
Yeah,
because you
mhm,
also have the subplot of, like, his relationship.
yeah. He is a little bit more as far as, like, a lot of these characters, I feel like Justine is a main character,
Yep.
Archer is a main character, James, I could even say, is a main character,
Yeah.
Alex for sure is a main character. I feel like Paul is just, like, he's there, right?
Paul
Again, like you said, lived in, just,
yes.
he's there to, like, fill in a little bit.
Yeah. The hierarchy is and,
Mhm.
uh, Justine and Archer, then, Alex and James, and
Yeah.
then Gladys, and then
Yeah, and I think for Paul's character, I think one of the things that I find really funny is just how, if one of these characters is going to be kind of pathetic, it is kind of Paul.
yeah.
He's very, like, he doesn't really have a backbone.
Which is sad because the first thing you see him doing, other than just, like, waving at Justine, the first thing you see him doing is, like, doing her a favor.
Yeah.
He's doing it with probably the subconscious that he's gonna be getting some Sally on the side. But, like, our introduction to him is kind of like good guy Paul, and he's giving her, by and large, like, some
Some sound logic, right? He
yeah,
gives you the advice of, like, listen, like, I know you feel like everybody's against you, but, like, not everybody is focused 100% on you. Like, you
and stop
can,
drinking.
Yeah. And no, that really is his thing. And then Justine being the bad, alcoholic she is, she convinces him to drink and they bang.
Yeah.
After he does pull a scumbag move where he's like, "Oh, we're not really together" with his
Yeah.
girlfriend, and oh, we forgot to mention that his girlfriend Donna does follow
Great
Justine.
scene. Great
A,
scene.
a terrifying scene when you
Yep.
don't know who she is
You catch
or
some red
what's
in the
you
background.
just it's a really cool tracking shot where the camera is the whole time just in front of
Justine.
Justine.
Yep.
And every once in a while, you just get little glimpses of someone in a red suit. A very, very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Walking purposefully.
Yes, exactly. A purposeful strut.
Yes.
And then just shoves her to the ground and just drenches her in booze. And she's like, Donna, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, like, it's one of those, like, really, really good moments of tension. And it's all because she slept with Paul.
Yeah.
We also learned that Paul is related to the chief.
It's from
Is it the
her.
chief or the captain? I can't
The
remember.
chief. The chief.
Chief, because that's Donna's
It's Donna's
dad.
dad.
That's Donna's dad.
Hey, buddy.
And oh no, I think I turned to you and I was like, if my father-in-law ever called me buddy, I
Yeah.
think I'd end it, man. It's
Here's
so emasculating.
one day within like the past like 2 years, my fucking dad called me buddy, and I was like, "Excuse me."
Okay, but like, all right, there's a difference. I think
There is
like
a
your
difference, but I'm saying if
father
I felt
calling
that with
you
my
buddy.
dad, then
But,
like,
like, if it's your father-in-law, it's
yeah,
such a, like, little kid word.
yeah,
Like, I could call you buddy, and it's different because like, we're, like, the same age, and, like,
exactly.
it's different.
We're peers.
Yes, but, like, if your superior, your father-in-law potential I don't know they're married, but they're together for sure, calls you buddy,
Yeah,
it's game over, man.
yeah. So sad.
GG.
So sad.
Exactly. So sad. The big thing for Paul is that he gets into an altercation with James.
Hmm.
He's like, "Hey James, I'm gonna stick my hand in your pockets. You got anything sharp in there?" And just like, "No, man." And immediately
He
just
sticks
gets a
himself,
needle, gets a needle, and Paul just
and
decks him in the face.
I like how I like how AIDS doesn't get mentioned for a few minutes. I
I
like,
thought this was a perfect excuse to use a fentanyl joke
uh,
because no, AIDS is brought up.
yes, but it's not until for a few scenes.
Yeah, I think it's when he wakes up. He's like, "You don't have AIDS, do you, Paul? You, James?"
Yeah,
And
but you
he's
don't see
like,
it for a while. I
"Yeah,
think the AIDS thing came after the stab with the needles.
maybe."
Yeah.
Yes, I think you're
Yes.
right because it's during James' thing,
James POV.
James'
Um,
POV.
I hear me out.
Hmm.
Obviously, he'd be in hot water, right? Not supposed to be part of the job. I'm gonna lick some boots right now. I'm gonna say if
Paul did nothing wrong.
in that instance, like, yes, legally he did something wrong, but ethically, I think he did nothing wrong.
I think it's one of those like you could argue like, oh, heat of the moment, like
I get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah. I think he's more in the wrong for turning off the dash cam. I
Yes.
think it's the covering up that I feel like it's
Yes.
more morally wrong than punching this dude who lied to you blatantly to your face.
But that's the thing. So what I read this as is this comes after like his conversation with his girlfriend or wife. I think it's a girlfriend. I don't think it's a wife. I think it's a girlfriend. Where
Potentially, yeah. I don't know. I don't think they specify. I can't remember.
they don't confirm either way, but I think it's a girlfriend. But when in their last conversation, like they're talking about like how they're gonna be trying to have a baby.
Hmm.
And like so that's on his mind. And then like he could be potentially infected. So then
I see. I see.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. James, like, he lets James go because he's like, oh shit. He's like, if I ever see you again, like, we're gonna have some problems, man.
Yeah.
Please just go away.
You did me wrong.
Uh,
I did you wrong.
that's a great little back and forth. I love that. He does come clean to his father-in-law, and he's like, listen, like, I'm not gonna say anything, but if it comes back, like, you're fucked. And like,
Yeah.
that's on you. Like, you gotta own up.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, hey, I guess respect.
Yes.
Sure. And he walks out of the police station, and what does he see? He fucking sees James.
The
I think it's
next
like the
day.
next day, but it's
The
like
next day.
it's like very funny that like it's immediately the next
Yeah.
day because this is where Donna comes back, and again, this doesn't really lead anywhere other than that confrontation during Justine's thing where he's like, "Oh fuck, you're back. Why are you here so early?"
Right.
So like, it doesn't really do a lot here.
Yeah.
But then we switch to James' perspective. We see what he's been doing. He's got his little crack pipe. He starts looking for like things to do. He's walking down the street opening car doors.
Mhm.
I think this does a really good job of like showing you like how skeezy he is.
Yes. While he's talking about getting a job to
Well,
a
he's
relative.
talking to yeah.
Yeah.
Is he talking to his brother?
I think it's his brother.
I
I
think
think
it's
it's
his
his brother.
brother,
Once
right?
again, never confirmed. And that's this movie treats you like you're smart.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he steals a backpack from someone's car and he
Yeah.
takes out like an iPad with some like kitty headphones and he sells
Yeah.
them. But then he's he finds a house that seems to be empty and he sneaks in there and it's Alex's house.
Mhm.
And the whole time you're watching, you're like, okay, we know someone is in this house.
Yeah.
We know that the shoe needs to drop, and that's another great scene of tension.
At this point, we're excited because
He's so nonchalant
yeah,
about what he's doing, and I think that that adds to that scene because
absolutely.
like he grabs a pillowcase.
This house doesn't mean to him what it means to us.
He's none the wiser.
And I forget if he verbally acknowledges the newspaper or if he just like
no, I think he just like looks at it and doesn't really think of it. I
yeah,
think in his mind, this is just like a house that's been abandoned because he looks at the
newspapers.
driveway. There's a dusty ass car and a bunch of newspapers.
Yep.
So I think in his mind, he's like,
He
maybe
knows
at
no one's
best,
home.
maybe a
Yeah.
squatter, right?
Yeah.
But he starts looking. I love the little line where he's at the entertainment center. And he's like, "Oh fuck yeah, Willow!" And then he looks at the TV screen and he sees the reflection of the parents sitting.
Yeah.
And now we see from the inside of the house what this looks like. And it's these two people just sitting there like stone,
Yeah.
not moving at all. They don't acknowledge him. And what does he do? He just starts bagging his shit again.
Yep.
And it's not until he hears a noise upstairs that they get up and they start to chase him.
Yeah.
And he escapes. No, he falls into the basement.
I think they chase him after the basement.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Because he goes downstairs, he sees all the kids.
They turn.
They turn to face him.
Yes.
A good jump scare. And then yeah, you're right. That's when he hears a noise upstairs. The parents get up. He runs out, and I think everybody's under the impression he's gonna go right to the cops. But
Yeah.
no, this is James. He
Yes.
goes to the pawn shop again
Sells his forks.
to sell his forks.
And then he sees the sign.
Yeah,
And
he sees
then
the sign. And honestly, I was very surprised by the fact that at this point, I think we're still have like an hour left of the movie, or maybe a little
yeah.
bit more, and we already know where the kids are.
Yes.
And that to me, I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna get really crazy here. That's when he goes to see the cops. Paul chases him around, knocks him out again, handcuffs him, puts him in the
Yeah.
car, and then they go to the house. And he just walks in, and he doesn't come out for
Doesn't come out.
hours.
Yeah.
And we get a really good scene of like Paul just walking out and drags him screaming into the house, into the dark.
Yeah.
It's again just I love the idea of like these climaxes, and then he just vanishes into this dark ass house. So now I love the fact that we know 100% like these kids are here. Where else can we go? We get the Marcus POV, which I think is really good at establishing okay, what is causing this without
Yeah.
giving this to Gladys, which I think is
Here's our
great.
backstory.
Yes. Marcus is trying to contact the parents. Who shows up instead of the parents? This little
Well,
old
first the
lady.
secretary, and then she's like, and Marcus is like, "What?" He's like, "You're your fucking tool." And that
Because even
secretary
the
is my
secretary
hero.
is like, what the fuck?
She has the right attitude about everything. She's like,
She
"This is
does.
fucking
Great.
ridiculous." Yeah.
I love that. Like, we see Aunt Gladys through like a frosted glass window,
Yeah.
and we see what everyone's been seeing.
We see the clown.
We see this weird, like, bright orange-red
Yep.
wig. Like, we see very, very exaggerated facial makeup, almost like a clown.
And I think because it's been, like, the window is frosted and because all our other visions of her have been so quick, like, right away, I'm like, "This is the thing,"
This is the
like,
thing.
"This is the thing that I've been seeing." Yeah.
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 Because at this point, everyone that we followed has seen this,
Yes.
except for Paul. I don't think Paul sees this. But James sees it when he's like hiding in this little camping tent.
Yep.
Justine sees it in the ceiling, and Archer sees it when he's telling his dream son like, "Oh, I wish I could have said I love you." The
Yeah.
camera pans back, and it's Gladys, and he goes, "What the fuck?" Great again. Um, and it's this little old lady who's like, "Oh, I'm just the aunt." And immediately we're like, "Oh, okay. Now we know exactly what's going on here, kind of, for the most part." It's
Yeah.
this lady. I love that the next day when she shows up to the house
On a Saturday.
on a Saturday,
Yeah.
out of the
Bad
blue.
bad guy Marcus's boyfriend lets the lady in the house.
Yeah,
Good for Marcus, I think, for being smart the whole time.
excuse me. They're adults. They're probably husbands.
Yes, yes, excuse me.
Yeah.
Obergefell has not been overturned yet in this fascist state that we live in. Marcus is ready to set his boundaries.
Marcus is, and also he is a little like, I kind of wish he would have addressed, like, first of all, how do you know where I live?
Yeah.
Second, like, this is weird. Like, let's not do this.
Well, okay.
But
He was
it
taken
is
off
the
guard because he
husband
was in his sweatpants and they were about to enjoy a fucking succulent ass meal.
of 7 glizzies, chips,
Yeah.
some cookies, and some ranch and carrots and uh I was sitting there going, man, I kind of want some hot dogs, man.
Yeah, those look so delicious.
They do look very good. Some
Yeah.
glorious glizzies. And this is a great scene at establishing a few things. First of all, who is our real threat?
Yep.
How much of a threat she is, and how does she do what she do?
Yeah.
And I love what she's like. Listen, I'm really parched. Can I get a glass of? Can I get some water? And he
Yeah.
gives her a glass, and she's like, "Can I get a bowl?" And I was
Yes.
like, "What? She was slurping like a dog."
Yeah.
And
This is where she should have been out of that house.
he's like, "Here's your bowl of water." And she takes out this like black thorn, like
Yep.
little stick. She pricks her hand, coats it in blood. Oh, she stole from his house
His ribbons.
the ribbons. So it's a personal item. And she uses that to mind control people. Now we know what she does. She covers it, puts him in a trance, and when she snaps it, they immediately do whatever she has in her mind. She doesn't even have to say it. It's like a thought thing.
Yes.
He immediately just kills his husband. And I think this is like the first like severely brutal thing we see.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's so barbaric how he kills him, because
Yep.
he smashes his head with his face. And that is very unsettling, because now you know this, whatever is happening, he
We're
has
in rated R
no,
territory now.
not just that, but like
Yeah.
he has no self-preservation at this point either.
Yeah, good point.
It's just,
He's
this
a
is
weapon.
my task and this is what I have to do. He is the weapon at this point, right? This is turning these people into like living weapons. For a while, I thought this movie could also be like an MK Ultra thing, like activating someone to do something.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's not
Not
indifferent
far off.
from that.
Yeah.
But then she immediately pulls out Justine's hair, and now we know
What that was for.
what that was for, and
Yeah.
where he came from, and where this is going.
And no, she never has to explain it.
No,
Like,
and
yeah.
that's great. She never goes, "So now with this," because she could have walked them through what she was doing as a point of like expositing what's going on. And I
No.
love that Zach Kreger
Trust his
trusts.
audience.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are back to the Archer story at the end, where they're
Well, now it goes to Alex, right?
no, because well, not yet, because then Marcus runs. He Naruto runs. We follow
Yeah.
him. It chases him through the store. I love that the clerk at the store is like, "Get the fuck out of my store."
Yes.
Doesn't help.
To Justine. And she's like, fucking help me.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
And then Marcus just mollywopped, man.
Yeah.
This is another gnarly like bit of just gore.
This is where you see the head
You
concaved
see the
in.
car. Well, we see the head like is gone. Like the top of the head is gone. He just got run over. And now we switch to Alec. No,
Well, first we're in the
because
hospital,
yes, because then yeah, you're right.
and then a very satisfying moment, 2 antagonists have now become allies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
two people who were in opposing sides. They're like, okay, this is now we got some weird shit.
Justine's like, "I never seen anybody like that." She's like, "I never seen anything like that before." And then Archer's like, "I have."
Yeah, exactly. And I love that. That payoff, I think, to me felt so good. This was my Avengers Assemble moment for this movie, where I was like, yes,
Yeah.
they're
The Marvel
friends.
reunion that was this movie.
It is a Marvel reunion,
Yep.
kind of. And this is where we switch now to Alex's perspective. We see
Yeah.
everything that's happening. And Gladys came to stay over. She's very sick.
So what's your theory? And maybe it hasn't been baked up yet, but who is Aunt Gladys to these people?
I don't know.
I do think she's an actual
You think she's an
blood
actual
relative.
relative?
Until a new prequel has been written that will flesh out whatever needs to be fleshed out. I feel like because we never get the magic explained.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she's a blood relative, or at least is in the body of a blood relative, because it seemed to me like she did particularly choose like this family. There's enough plausible deniability to say that maybe it's something random, but like when she's talking to Alex and she's like, after you see her like hurling into her bucket, she's like, I thought like being here would help, but it's not working. So I read that as she thought being within proximity of blood that's like related to her.
I just took that as like I thought I think it's more like a diminishing returns on her magic. I think she's been doing this for so long is getting to the point where like adults is not enough. It's not able to rejuvenate her to the point where she needs to. And she just it might have been a thing where like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm gonna go to this town. There's someone who maybe I knew that I have a resemblance to, and this woman is dead. They haven't seen this woman in years because they do say that they haven't seen her in 15 years.
Yes.
Alex, being a third grade student, would be no older than 8 or 9.
No.
And
Yeah.
she says to him, I have last time I saw you, you were a baby. So she's clearly already lying.
Nothing. Yes. And
So she is
wasn't the
such
second
an,
viewing
and I
that I
think
caught.
that's purposeful. I think it's meant to not so that you never really know what she is about.
Yes. And then you have the two aunts. She tells Marcus that she's Alex's aunt.
And then she says that she's like her great aunt, something like that, right?
Yeah.
So again, we have a whole bunch of things. I know a lot of people talk about like the fact that she uses like he's got like a case of consumption or something like that,
Yeah.
which is very old school tuberculosis speak. So that leads a lot of people to think she's significantly older than she
Then she
appears.
actually is. Yeah.
So I know we are supposedly potentially getting a prequel
Well, it's in the air.
in the air, right? It's in
Yeah.
talks.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not opposed as long as it is done by Zach.
I
And
am more interested in this being a prequel than I was for any of the what are the porn star movies? Pearl.
Pearl,
Yeah, I'm much more interested in this
because I
than I
think
am
Aunt
that.
Gladys herself is a very interesting character.
Absolutely.
Where I feel like because you have a whole bunch of different layers where there's already a magical aspect and that's already interesting.
Now
Whereas
wait.
Pearl was just an old lady.
Now hold on. So Zach Kreger, he wrote this script.
Yes, he wrote the
Then what's the story about like this script being bidded on, and then like Jordan Peele apparently losing out on it and then being upset?
so they had the script and I believe then it
And that
was a
was written by
bidding
Zach Kreger.
war. Huh?
That script was written by Zach Kreger.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it was a who wants to buy the script or the rights to basically make the movie with Zach Kreger direct. So he wanted to produce the movie with
Ah,
Zach Kreger being attached to it as
I
the
see.
writer director.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, Warner Brothers and Zach Kreger have an established relationship, so that already. you know,
That worked, yeah,
yeah, it already works
gotcha.
because they made Barbarian
Yes.
with him.
But I think this is probably the most I've wanted a prequel or sequel to something in a very long time.
Yeah, I don't think the sequel would necessarily
No,
work,
but I mean,
right?
even things that, like, demanded a sequel or got a sequel, like, I wanted a prequel to this more than I wanted a sequel to Smile, for
Yeah,
instance.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which I mean, again, Smile 2 worked great because they were able to, take that a different direction. It
Yep.
wasn't just the same thing. And I think, we already see what he did with a potential like rom-com horror movie, and then now he's doing a little bit more of like a I don't know what's like a witchy thing. So I could see him do something interesting with a prequel.
Yep.
We'll see. We get Alex's little survival story, which is great. We know how he got everything. I love the thing where the aunt's like, listen, like you gotta do this for me. If you tell anyone, I'm gonna have them like hurt each other.
I can make them eat each other
I
if I
can
want
make
to.
them eat each other. That's fucking gnarly to say to
Yeah,
a kid. I could, she says, I can make them hurt each other, hurt themselves, or hurt you.
and Javi, at that point, when was the last time you remember watching a movie and you're like, "I want this character to die so
Yo,
bad."
immediately.
Yes,
So bad. And later on, he wants her out of the house so bad. He's like, "How can I help you feel better so you can fuck right off?"
and then he's like and then he's like, "And you'll go home?" Or I forget who says it first. I think he
He
says.
says to her, he's like, "And if you feel better, like you'll go home?" And
Yeah,
she's like, "Yeah, sure." And I love the scene where he's like looking around the room, like, "What can I take from each kid?"
yeah,
And he's like zooms in at like a pencil or like a little toy, and it's not until like the gear starts shifting and you can see him, he like looks at all their cubbies and they have their name tags, and I'm like,
and I was like, "Smart kid."
this kid is smart. And that's what leads to them. They do a good job at explaining how they weren't able to find the kids. She's able to send them away to hide somewhere else. They manage to trick everybody. As the stories are converging here, this is where James and Paul make a comeback when Archer and Justine break into the house.
Mhm.
And oh, this is also really creepy where like they know they're outside and Paul like waves them in.
Yeah,
We see those lines, the salt
the
lines.
salt.
Yeah. And we get a really good action sequence here where they're being attacked.
And the funniest part of the movie.
This is after they chase Alex around. He manages to like trick Aunt Gladys into like leaving the area where she's at or whatever. They kill James, they kill Paul. Archer gets possessed. He's like choking out Justine. And then Alex manages to do the little thorn thing.
Wait, we missed the funniest part of the movie.
What was the funniest part of the movie?
When they're fighting James and then Archer
Oh,
yeets
he just throws him and
at
he
least,
comes
like,
back.
5 times.
And he throws
Fantastic.
him? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great. It's a
yeah.
great bit of comedy. But I personally loved when Alex does the little voodoo
Where he does a spell.
and then you just hear the house shake
Yeah,
and Aunt Gladys immediately goes, "Oh no."
yeah.
And she just bolts out the door. And then this stampede of children
Crashes through the
just
windows.
crashes through the windows.
And then they crash through another set of windows after they go through the neighborhood. You see
And
the
they rip her apart, dude.
yeah.
It's very
Deserved.
satisfying.
So sad. It's up there with Black Phone.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, as far as, like, wanting your villain to get taken out and
yep,
having the victims be the one to, like, do
to do it.
it,
Yeah.
it is very satisfying.
And children in both instances.
Yes,
Yeah.
and very violently,
Yeah.
like, just ripping her apart.
Yep.
And that's basically the end of our movie. The kids, they do say, like, some of them, even after I think they say at the beginning of the movie, like, 2 years ago. So even after 2 years, like, some of them are barely able to start talking.
Yeah.
It's implied that, like, the parents Alex's parents are, like,
Still
they're
vegetables.
done, like, they're veggies,
I
and
love the shot of Alex hugging his parents.
it is
I
very sad.
I love it's sad and also sweet. Like,
Mhm.
it's one of those. I love the fact that I think you have these perfect moments of characterization both for Archer and for Justine, where, like, at the ending, they both do exactly what the characters are motivated to do. Like, what is like Archer motivated to do? He's motivated to get back to his son. So like
Mhm.
after like the spell is broken on him, like he doesn't go to like reconnect with Justine. He's like, oh, and he sees a trail and he just like follows it.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's his motivation to get to his son. What's Justine's motivation? She's like the teacher who cares too much, right? So what
Yeah,
does she do? She like goes upstairs
and finds
and finds Alex. Like,
Alex. So
yeah,
that's what she wants. That she wants to make sure that Alex is primarily okay.
exactly.
It's a very good, like, full circle moment, and I
Yep.
think this movie does a fantastic job at, like, giving you I don't know, man, like, I'm really having a hard time finding, like, negatives that I think would make me go, like, "This doesn't deserve the 5 out of 5 I gave it," because, like, all the boxes that I think I need are checked,
Yes.
and
I
that's
think Dan's critique of this movie, I would say, is my biggest critique. And I like the way he phrases it, where he's like, in a mystery movie, he's like, in a perfect mystery movie, you can see where like every little thing serves a purpose.
Mhm,
And like I said before, I do think that there are some like little stray hairs on this movie that don't all contribute to the greater whole. But I think like Zach Kreger purposely wanted it to be ambiguous, right? So
mhm,
that's part of his design. But also I think the highs of this movie just work so well. Yeah, this is an
yeah.
easy 5-star movie for me.
For sure.
Yep.
This movie's making gangbusters, my guy.
Hmm.
I don't know if you saw Charts with Dan. This is like the second highest grossing original movie of the year.
A beautiful thing.
And the both of the highest grossing original movies are uh
Horror.
horror. So
Another beautiful thing.
another beautiful thing. I am so excited. I cannot express to you how excited I am that he is doing Resident Evil.
Yeah.
For the millions of fans who don't know, Resident Evil is like my all-time favorite, like,
Video game series.
IP. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I even like the shitty movies.
Very
Uh,
good.
I might be able to say, "Hey, these movies are not good," but I'll watch them.
Yeah.
But man, I love the games, and if he can do something that makes me go, "Damn, I'm proud of this Resident Evil movie," I think he can do it.
I think so too. Got the
Man,
chops. So good.
and
Yeah. No,
so we're
sad.
going
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Ro and was it Dennis that you went to see this with?
Yeah, so I saw it with my wife and my brother-in-law. It was also my brother-in-law's first time or second time seeing it as well.
Oh,
He
really?
brought his in-laws, yep. So the same amount of suspense. I'll say the only thing about that showing that I saw it with, like that theater didn't laugh as much as the first theater that we
Mhm.
saw it with did. So I hope they enjoyed the humor as much as it deserves to be enjoyed.
It's really funny how much people were laughing in that scene where Ann Gladys was being chased.
Yes. It's so
'Cause
funny.
I think there's a Simpsons visual where I think it's Homer running down, like, a street, like an overview shot, and you
Yeah.
see him and then, like, a huge crowd of people, and it's that
Yeah.
exact same thing, where you
Yeah.
just see her and hear her, and these kids are not making any noise.
Yeah.
They're just, like, running, and they might be screaming, but it's
I
very
no,
like,
I
you
do
don't
think they're
hear
screaming. I
it.
do think they're screaming.
But you don't hear it until
Well, otherwise, it's
they
like a normal suburban Saturday morning.
and so, yeah, I think it is, yeah, you're right. So you hear her screaming, and it's just
Yeah.
the sole scream, and it's not until they're in frame that you hear them running and screaming, and it's
Yeah.
that, like, audio cue with the visual that is so perfect.
Yes.
I am I am so excited to go see this again,
As you should.
as I should. Alright, homie, we have been very busy bees. There are 3 new episodes out. We did Fantastic Four, we had the Dexter recap, and the summer movie recap. This will probably go out tomorrow.
Beautiful.
We gotta go Thal, you gotta watch Nobody. So we can go
I
watch
really
Nobody
wanna see
too.
it. What, service is it on?
Nobody?
Yeah.
I can look that up in a little bit if you want.
Let me look it up because I wanna pee.
Yes.
So,
But,
yes.
we will be back soon with more movie stuff. Thank you all for joining us. Until
Yeah.
next time, he has been Thano,
He has been Javier.
and this has been the Cine-Scoots Movie Show. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.